Crude oil imports from Russia has come in at 12-month high in the month of April. Private refiners Reliance Industries and Narayana Energy imported around 770,000 barrels per day of crude oil from Russia in April of 2024, the highest in a year, while public refiners such as IOCL, BPCL and HPCL imported about 1 million barrels per day last month, which is at a 7-month high. Now, analysts and trade sources are attributing higher numbers to more export volumes being shipped out of Russia and lifting of lower cargoes by Chinese refiners. In fact, Russian oil imports led to savings of $7.9 billion in the first 11 months of financial year 24. The value of India's imports of crude and petroleum products declined by 15.2% in April to February of financial year 24, even as the volume rose slightly higher in this period. However, tapering discounts can widen the net oil import bill to about $101 to $104 billion in 2025. It does look like, although the volumes are not declining, they continue to rise. The cost of import is drastically coming down, resulting in savings to the tune of about $7 billion for
Absolutely.
India.
So, $7 to $8 billion is obviously, it's a big number, but look at it in the context of India's total current account deficit, and India has a target to bring CAD down to about 1% of the GDP. Every $1 billion does help, and I think in the volatile times that we live in, especially with what is happening, in the Middle East right now, and the conflict and the volatility in oil prices, though we haven't seen the shocks of rising crude prices hit any country in the world just as yet, but the volatility continues, and nobody had anticipated that. I think our dependence on Russian oil increased when there were sanctions on Russia by other countries where Russia had to sell cheap oil to takers, and India, rightly so in its own interest, went ahead and signed the deal to import Russian oil, and this Russian import oil is more than balancing India's current account deficit right now in the advent of overall more inflated oil bill when it comes to India's imports from the Middle East.
All right, and India's decision to stay away from the Western sanctions imposed on Russia seem to have paid off by the way of its savings when it comes to Russian oil.